Okay, on the go-home show before Night of Champions, again, they super hardcore push that CM Punk is a heel. The opening part, having Bret Hart came down because they were in, Canada. And of course he expounded about the screw job that happened, it's 15 years ago. Then CM Punk came down. They had actually a really solid exchange between the two of them. Hart didn't lose a beat at all in this. And it was a really good back and forth. Really helped cement how you should cement CM Punk as a heel. And then they go into the first opening contest, which was R-Truth and Kofi Kingston taking on Antonio Cesaro and The Miz. Really, really solid match. Great back and forth the whole time, which one would expect because you had four pretty solid workers. And of course the match ends with Kofi Kingston getting the pinfall on Antonio Cesaro. Really nice match, good back and forth. They also mentioned that CM Punk is going to face somebody due to the Raw Active. Options are Brodus Clay, Lawler, Orton. Duh, they picked Orton. Really solid match, nice back and forth. It ends with Ziggler coming down and attacking Randy Orton, which then prompts a tag match. Tag match between Punk and Ziggler versus Orton and Jerry the King Lawler. Again, really solid, nice back and forth. Heyman comes down, and now all of a sudden the camera angle shifts to Punk and Heyman talking, with the match going on in the foreground, the match going on in the background. So you kind of miss what seemed like a really solid exchange leading to Randy Orton hitting the RKO on Dolph Ziggler. So again, now CM Punk walks out on matches he could easily win. So he went from whooping on Jerry the King Lawler to walking out on a Sheamus match to walking out on an Orton match to then later get kind of eviscerated by John Cena on the mic. So now I'll go to the very end sequence where Bret the Hitman Hart interviewed John Cena. The best part of that whole thing was when John Cena actually said, he's like, I'm glad you put me in the same sentence as Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, but I couldn't lace your boots. That was pretty good. Punk comes down, of course John Cena then does the whole, everything which time has been irrelevant. It's been 300 days, but it's been nothing because you're not the main event guy. Yeah, I get it. The WWE universe, the sun is John Cena. Everything else just happens around him. Yes, I get it. Was it good to have John Cena actually have, some fire, have another impassioned speech? Yes. But if CM Punk can do that early on, and then all of a sudden at the end it's like John Cena just mentally seems to best him, I don't quite seem to get it. Heel CM Punk, if they were to do him right, this would probably be a lot more entertaining. But seeing him just get destroyed by John Cena on a microphone whenever they seem to be in the same ring, and then seeing him kind of walk with his tail between his legs and kind of like, sheepishly leave the ring, I don't get why every single heel has to suck. It has to be some sort of, super weak, cheesy, I'm going to lose to everybody. I don't get it. You can have a heel who, ironically, is still good in the ring. And it's okay. Almost every heel seems to either be taking on a guy who they're vastly superior to, like Antonio Cesaro versus Santino Marella, or every heel is just some guy has a squeak out of victory. It's dull. Repetitively dull. We got to have two comedic sequences. The Sheamus lawsuit, David Otunga, which had some moments. When Sheamus said his last name was Lipschitz, and he said, if you're Lipschitz, what's your arse do? And it was kind of funny. There were moments kind of like that. And when he asked if you could do Daniel Bryan and should the Bro Kick, and he went, yes, that was pretty good. But beyond that segment was horrendous. Which of course led to a match between Sheamus and Otunga, where he destroyed Otunga and then used the Cloverleaf. Not going to call it the Texas Cloverleaf, because with the mean Irish, you could probably just call it the Cloverleaf and it would be fine. And then he hits the Brogue Kick. And apparently now, if you happen to use a Brogue Kick, he'll be stripped of the title. So we're keeping track. Lesnar and Heyman have lawsuits. Josh Matthews has a lawsuit. David Otunga and Ricardo Rodriguez have a lawsuit. They continue the anger management portion with Daniel Bryan and Kane. I tried to do something radical with them. And of course they made them a tag team. Took on the Primetime Players for the #1 contendership for the tag team titles. And they won. So now Kofi Kingston and R-Truth have to take on the team of Kane and Daniel Bryan at Night of Champions. This match just got interesting. Tyson Kidd took on Alberto Del Rio. Not a bad match. I was thinking, they're in Canada. Tyson Kidd, Canadian. Last person straight the Hart Family Dungeon, was part of the Hart Dynasty 2.0. The extra nice match with Del Rio. Of course, he has to lose to Del Rio. Del Rio cut a promo about how he's awesome or whatever. I really don't care about what Del Rio has to say. He's taking the JBL gimmick and pointing out somebody who is kind of a poor man's Eddie Guerrero just does not work. It doesn't. It is dull. It is repetitive. I really hope that their match is this. It's 5 minutes of Sheamus just whooping the ever-loving crap out of Del Rio. Not going for a pinfall. I want to see him just brutally wail on Del Rio. And then pin him in the center of the ring. 1, 2, 3. Del Rio goes to the bottom of the line. Done. They had a 6-diva tag match. On one side, you had Eve, who is now a face. Caitlyn and Layla. On the other side, you had Beth Phoenix, Natalya, and Alicia Fox. So again, I'm thinking, they're in Canada. Canadians like wrestling. Maybe Beth Phoenix and Caitlyn will have a spot. Maybe Natalya will get a victory. No, instead Eve gets a victory. I don't care. I just don't care. I don't. This one had so many just really bizarre, disjunctive moments to it that makes it kind of bleh. And then, of course, during the Kane Daniel Bryan Primetime Players match, everyone looks off to the side as Jerry the King Lawler collapses. They form CPR on the back and he was taken to a local hospital. As the time I'm shooting this, he is actually breathing on his own, responsive. So not only has he had a heart attack or he had a stroke, but we probably got to see Jerry the King Lawler's last in-ring match. He's had a couple matches recently, and if it's been taking too much of a toll on his body, so hopefully Jerry the King Lawler gets better. And I'll be honest, for Night of Champions, the tag match sounds interesting. It really does. Oh, and Cody Rhodes took on Mysterio. He kind of got the victory on them, and then Miz came down. Cody Rhodes attacks Miz. That belt IC title needs a triple threat match. Just saying. For the US title match, they're doing a Battle Royal pre-show to determine who will face Antonio Cesaro. Okay. Tag team battle match sounds interesting. The World Heavyweight Championship match, I don't care for at all. Divas belt, see World Heavyweight Championship. Still no match for the IC title. The US title, Cesaro's going to retain, doesn't matter who he's going to face. That then puts us down pretty much to the WWE Championship. I really do hate your run's totally not legitimate. 300 days. It's the 9th longest title reign. If you want to look back at CM Punk's 10 years champion, if you remove the time when he lost to Del Rio, which is an absolute waste of time, he's beaten John Cena at Money in the Bank. SummerSlam last year. Technically SummerSlam this year. He beat John Cena, cashed in the Money in the Bank, technically. He's beaten him 4 times. He's got 4 victories over him. in championship matches. Yeah, totally, not legitimate. Well, he had a really solid feud with Daniel Bryan and Kane. Very solid feud with Chris Jericho. He's had really solid feuds. He's been match of the night most nights. Ironically, either Lesnar's been involved in a match or John Cena took on The Rock. I don't want to see this match end in the pinfall. I really don't. I'm thinking if they really wanted to make this match, one of the ultimate matches for this needs to be either an Iron Man match, 30-minute or 60-minute. I don't think John Cena can go 60 minutes in a match. Or it needs to be an I Quit or submissions match. But I picture CM Punk to retain, make the new title come out, entirely erase the John Cena spinner belt from existence, bring in his own title, and have the new era of CM Punk begin.